Hello everyone and welcome. I'm VelvettB and thanks for joining me today in The Sims 4 for a fantastic speed build of a base game family contemporary home. So I actually made this after there was like a big base game update and they updated a whole lot of stuff, I guess, in the game. Like they added extra swatches and bits and pieces like that. And this is the little build that I did after that. I started after. Let's start that again. I started it after that update, and then I kind of forgot about it, and it took me a while to go back and just finish the insides of it. But yeah, I was quite excited to see there were new swatches for base game. That's always an exciting thing because it's something that's accessible for all players. And plus anything that is base game, that is new, that is updated, gives me more colors, more options. It's always wonderful because I love to have more new things. I'm a greedy little Gus in that sort of sense. So I love to have new things, and this was a new thing kind of update. So this is what I kind of built with it. And you know what? I actually really like building base game only. I'm one of those weird people that does, and it is a challenge because you don't have all of the lovely things that you would normally build. If you are building base game on a budget, oh man, well that can be difficult because a lot of the base game items can be expensive. Like if you are building with a starter home and you can have access to all your packs, there are always like these cheaper options than the base game stuff. So yeah, building like a starter home in base game can be super challenging because of just how expensive some of the items are in base game. But today I am not building a starter home, so I could just do whatever I liked, not having to worry about the budget, which is really nice. I had this idea in my head, and yeah, it was for this like little covered in walkway porch kind of area where it had like a glass kind of roof on a lean, so you can sort of see that that's what I've done here with this particular build. Is I created this like little porch walk-in area. I was quite worried that it wasn't going to be accessible, but it turned out it was fine. So all good. I'm actually putting in these big windows, and then I'm like looking at the house, and it just wasn't vibing for me. I was like, oh, they're just too big and you can't really see the walls so easily, and I'm not digging it. So I'm kind of like, I'm putting them in place, and sometimes I do this where I'm sort of I put things in place and I'll just tick it over in my mind and like, oh no, there's something wrong, and I know I'm not liking something, but I just figuring out why or what the issue is and how I can fix it. And so I'm stacking windows basically. So using some of the small, I think they're called the mega basic windows, and stacking those up instead, just to get away from the big glass panes, which I do like on some houses, but it just wasn't quite vibing for me with this house. I thought the house is contemporary, but it is also kind of like more suburban and not like, you know, your big sort of modern blocky kind of house. So I felt these windows really did suit the house a lot more. So I hope you guys agree with that, but that's the vibe I went with anyway. So, and I also went with the browns. So there's going to be browns all around, so sort of shades of brown. I actually quite like this shade of brown. I'm mixing it with the rock or the stone wall the way that I have. So I was really super stoked with how that sort of looked and came out. So just working on a little bit of fencing because I needed a little bit of fencing, and I did want something less, like a lot of the base game stuff does have a more traditional vibe because it has like those decorative elements, like you're sort of carving on them or you're fluting, and more modern styles lend themselves to a more minimalistic styling, if that makes sense. So I was trying to look for a fencing that had a more minimalistic styling and didn't have like those sort of fluted or carved banisters and, you know, what are they called? Like little fencing bits that are in the middle, wall fencing slats. I don't know what they're called, but anyway, the fencing slats, you know, they're not styled. They're pretty plain, you know, minimalistic, which is a lot more in keeping with the contemporary style. So this is my little seating area around the front. So it's like a little front porch kind of sunroom thing. I don't know where I got that idea from. I got it from somewhere. It just was sitting in my mind for a while, and then I was like, you know what, that would actually probably be quite good for a base game home. And then we had the base game update, and then I was like, wow. So this is the base game update that we had before the one that we've just had. So we had a base game update for Life and Death where we had like a whole lot of ghost stuff. This was a base game update a while ago where there was a whole lot of color updates and that sort of thing. So I think, was that Love Struck? Nah, can't have been that long ago. I think it was just a base game update. I don't think it was Love Struck related. I don't know. My memory's shoddy. So anyway, just doing a bit of outdoor living stuff. The lot that I'm building on, I believe, was a 30 by 20 lot, so not super roomy. I did skip over me like going through debug. I was trying to find some good debug items that would work around the barbecue, and I did find a couple of things. There's like a little fire starter, there's like a little fire liquid thing, and there's like a cleaning brush, which you can't really see the cleaning part, like the spikies on it, unless it's kind of hanging off the edge of the shelf, which is why I did that. Because otherwise you're just like, what is that? What is that random thing? It's sometimes like that with debug items. You know, just when you are doing a base game build, sometimes it is good to delve into debug stuff and just find some different stuff than you might normally see in a debug build. I mean, not a debug build, a base game build. So this is actually going to be a family home. So, memory. How many bedrooms is it? I think it's 3 or 4 bedrooms. I can't remember actually. I know there's a couple of bedrooms. Yeah, I think it might be 4 bedrooms. Oh, let's see what happens anyway. So it is a family home. So I've got some kids' bedrooms, and I didn't go overboard with like outdoor kids stuff, but to be fair, in base game, there's the monkey bars, and then there's a giant pirate ship, and then there's like the spaceship thing. I don't know if it's a spaceship, but it's like, it's a ultra modern ship of some sort. I think maybe it is a spaceship. So there isn't really a lot of stuff available for the kids outside in base game. There isn't any toddler outside stuff that I can think of anyway, base game. So, you know, there wasn't much to put outside anyway. So I just did monkey bars. That's my nod to the kids outside. It's like, there you go. Otherwise you're just going down to the park, which I'm sure is going to be nearby anyway. Oh, I do like those lights that we got with, I think it was this update. And, you know, it's like, it was supposed to be when we got the curved pools. And that must have been the Love Struck update. Because we got the curved pools and we got the lights for the curved pools. And they're actually a really nice contemporary, like modern looking light. So I'm like, I like that. It's just a light, not just like a pool light. I like it as a light. So that's what I used around the place here. And it did take me a little while to figure out which colors I wanted to do on the interior. One of the best base game colors to use for interiors is actually blue. There are a lot of options. Green is kind of so-so. Red is difficult. Yellow, okay. Green, purple is really hard. Yeah, so color options base game wise can be tricky, but yeah, I went with blue because I like blue, and also it just, like, as I said, really good options base game wise for blue things. So that's what I went with. So as I said, I'm not working to a budget in this build, so I decided I'd use the schmapple stuff and give this family like some actual nice equipment to move in to enjoy. yeah, you know what? Just because it's base game doesn't mean you can't have nice things. And to this day, base game, the Schmapple wear is basically the best, the nicest stuff in the game for as far as, you know, like it's got the best buffs to it, if that makes sense. Yeah. So like the Schmapple oven, the Schmapple microwave, the Schmapple coffee maker, the Schmapple fridge. I mean, they're all the best in the game, and they're base games. So I think that's awesome. I actually think it's really good that they do keep the best things and the best beds in the game are base game, like with all the 10, 10, 10, 10, 10s. And so I think they have really thought about the items that they do put into the game, and the fact that base game has to have sort of the best items as far as, like, you know, your buffs and environment and, you know, that sort of thing go. And I think that's smart, because everybody's going to have that base game, and that makes it sort of a lot fairer for everybody, that they can have the fairest opportunity to all have access to some of the best stuff in the game. So I'm down with that. I think that's cool. So doing a nice big round table. I did fluff around with that mat a little bit. I think I'd just stick with that blue in the end. I don't know if I change that. No, I think I do stick with it. Putting in like little bits and pieces. Obviously, artwork in the base game is challenging. I mean, artwork across the board in The Sims is challenging. Yeah. So I do struggle with that with base game builds, is finding stuff to put on the walls. Possibly why I'm using so many windows. The more windows that I use, the less I need to put on the walls. There's a little builder's hack for you. Use more windows and you have less artwork to put on the walls. I did use like some debug artwork, and I did use some locked item, like this couch is a locked item. So yeah, you do need cheats. You don't need cheats to download this from the gallery, but if you wanted to use these items, you do need cheats to be able to access them. And or you could have Better Build Buy from Twisted Mexi and just have those active all the time, and then they're always available to you, which is really handy. But after a patch and mods are broken, you don't have that option. So I use this wallpaper. Now, this is the little pattern geometric wallpaper. This is a wallpaper I'm scared of. I really am. It's just it's been one of those ones that I kind of avoid, because there's some colors that I really, really don't like in that particular wallpaper. But the blue I actually quite like, and I think it did work quite nicely in the bedroom. Not the bedroom, the living room. I think it added, yeah, just like a bit of a modern touch to that lounge, and I think it did work. So it's a challenging wallpaper for me personally to use. So I'm proud of myself for actually going out of my box and not just using plain wallpapers, and actually using that patterned wallpaper in a build, and I think I made it look good. I think. So now we were starting to work on the bedroom. So this is the first of the kids' rooms. So this is for a child age kid, if that makes sense. Child age kid, because you have infants, you have toddlers, you have kids, children, and then you have the teens. So you kind of have those different levels. This could be for a teen or a preteen as well, as it is set up for a child, or I guess a teen if you wanted to go that direction. But I was thinking more a child, and because it's got like your study desk and you got your toys and that sort of thing. It is blue and green, so kind of neutral in the sense of gender. So you could go whatever you like in that direction. But it has got like plenty of toys, it's got a study area, cute bed, etc, etc. So that does the trick. Now this is definitely more of a feminine room, and this is actually going to be a toddler's bedroom, because we do have obviously a few more bits and pieces in base game nowadays. Since the Growing Together EP came out, there's been more and more sort of added for toddlers. I say more and more. There's a bit for toddlers, not heaps, but there's a bit. And yeah, so this is going to be a little toddler's bedroom. Lots of pink and purple and a little bits of white and just super cute. I was really going hard on those shells in this build. I think they just sort of added, you know why though? Because the artwork is so limited. But these shelves have like an artwork to them, you know, with the little picture and stuff they've got on them. So it's kind of a way around not having that much in the way of decals and artwork for kids' rooms and base game, and still adding a decorative element to the room. So that was one way that I sort of dealt with that limitation. So then we have the downstairs bathroom, which I'm just putting together now. I was a little worried. Oh, it's a second downstairs bathroom. I was a little worried about if the Sims would still be able to access that toilet. Oh, this is going to be the kids. This is the kids' bathroom, by the way. I'm making it as a kids one, so that's why it's got the little rubber duckies in there. But it turns out it's absolutely fine. Very accessible to get in there. And of course, you've got your little potty in there as well, because you need your potty because we've got a toddler in the house. So then moving upstairs, what have we got upstairs? Oh yes, so it is a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom home. Okay, I'm remembering now. So upstairs is just going to be a master bathroom, master bedroom, and that's it. So as you can see, I am sort of just still using some of the debug artwork just to mix it up a little bit, because I just get so bored of the artwork. Oh, that's me trying to decide on a plant. I didn't want to fuss around with like getting the height up using the towel rails. I was just like, I'll just I'll just do that. I'll just put that thing that just clips straight on there in there rather than fussing around. I know what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying it very poorly. So then this is the master bedroom. Again, I'm just trying to find colors and do something a little bit different. And again, I'm trying to use some of the wallpapers that scare me. So I did attempt to use that retro wallpaper. I don't think I keep it. I ended up going with yellow, and again, using a locked item in the game, which is this bed. So I believe like it can be unlocked by your sim maxing out the artist career. I think that's how you get that one, or by using the unlock cheat, which is the route that I go. But yeah, it's like a Monet kind of bed, and it's just like, I love the blue on it, and the fact that even though it's kind of got a country shape to it, it does sort of also have like a modernish kind of vibe to the styling of it. So it is one of those beds that I really do kind of go to or gravitate to when I am doing a more modern home in just base game only, because yeah, it does have that kind of more modern vibe, which is cool. I'm just using a couple of columns there just to separate out, like we've got a mirror and a little sort of hanging wardrobe area. So just using columns to separate out those little areas and just create the image, I guess, of those things, of the hanging wardrobe, because obviously that's decorative and it's not usable. Because we don't have usable hanging things in the base game. But hey, it is what it is. It is decorative and it does look like it does what it does, so that's fine. And there is a usable dresser there, so it all works out. It's all good. So yeah, very much a yellow and blue bedroom. I think the yellow, the pale yellow and the bright yellow is quite a nice mix. And then just into our final room, which is going to be the master bathroom. So I kept it pretty simple. It was just sort of quite long and narrow, so there wasn't too much. I couldn't add in a shower as well as the bath, so it's just the bath up there. But I believe there's a shower downstairs, so it should be good. And that is our build. So let's take a wee look through the screenshots and see how it sort of came out. I was really happy with that. Like, you can sort of see the new color in the chimney, because that's a whole new color. I think the wood that I used might be a new color as well. I can't quite remember now. But I was really pleased with how it came out. I think it fits really nicely in a slightly more modernized, like Newcrest or Willow Creek. Yeah, I think it actually even fit really nicely in like San Sequoia. But obviously that's not base game. But yeah, I added lots, little touches, as much as I could anyway, to give it sort of like, that this is a family home. And, just some sort of lived in little bits of clutter here and there. Obviously, you're limited as to which clutter you have available to you, being base game. So did what I could, but you know, there's lots of little touches there for the family. And I'm really happy with how that came out. I think it's super cute, and I hope you guys enjoyed the build. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you'd like to see more builds from me, I do have at least a couple a week usually. So yeah, I think I have a lot to offer and a lot of entertainment to be found here. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.